I have props. Today is chapter 1 of Type 2 Diabetes is a Rogue with a Gift. It started innocently, as these things often do. A little fatigue here, a little craving there, a whisper of fog over what used to be mental clarity. Nothing dramatic, nothing urgent, just a quiet pull towards something sweet, something easy, something comforting. He was charming like that, this rogue. Smooth as silk, subtle as sin. He arrived in my life with the gentlest touch of an extra spoonful of sugar, a second helping of warm bread, butter. A late-night whisper, you deserve this. You want this. You earned this. And I listened, because let's be honest, every heroine loves a little bit of danger, at least at first. He courted me like a gentleman, sending gifts disguised as cravings, notes tucked between the tea and the biscuits, promising understanding when I was exhausted. He didn't burst into my life, he eased in like velvet, offering a reprieve from stress and the joy of chocolate. He never raised his voice, never made demands. He tempted me with logic. Just this once. You've had a long day. You'll get back on track tomorrow. We'll walk in the garden after supper. I promise this time. Before I knew it, he was everywhere. Behind every menu, every mood, every justification. And then, like any good rogue, he started controlling the terms of our relationship. He even began sending footmen with messages disguised as little health tips, little scrolls left by my bed. Don't forget to take your medicine 30 minutes before eating. Before I eat? When would I eat? I have fittings at the modiste, ribbons to buy, errands to run, and get ready for tonight's gala. This wasn't romance anymore. This was a leash. Medication, once promise of control, became a chain. One that rattled with every afternoon tea tray. The chain of thoughts sent me spiraling into questions like, will this raise my blood sugar? Should I be eating this fruit? What did my glucose monitor say this morning? This wasn't seduction anymore. This was surveillance, watching everything, overwhelming. But I didn't leave right away. Of course not. We never do. Because even toxic lovers serve a purpose. And he has a purpose. He gave me moments of pleasure when everything else felt out of control. He gave me reasons, and every time I doubted myself, he was there. With a new trick, a new rule, a new medication, a new restriction, dressed as structure. Until he wasn't sweet anymore. Until I realized I wasn't being courted. I wasn't being seen or loved for me. He was in love with the turmoil he created. The more I leaned in, the more I tried, the more obsessed I became, the more dire the situation became. That's the thing about seduction. It makes you forget who you were before the craving. The rogue didn't sweep me off my feet. He just wore me down, gently, cleverly, until I woke up in a fog of numbers, protocols, and self-blame, wondering where I went. Why is this my life? Clearly focused on this dreary problem. This book, this beginning, is not about regret. It's about recognition. It's about recognizing the patterns for what they are. A false lover who whispered all the right things and left you empty. But darling, emptiness creates space. And that's where your heroine comes in. Because while seduction may have gotten your attention, it will be your truth that sets you free. And freedom, my love, that's where the real romance begins. Shall we continue?